Tampa, tamper, tampon. What do these three words have in common? Well, they all have negative connotations and they all have the word tamp in them. What else? Well, I know it's not a relationship with SBF because he's only been involved in one of those three words recently. That's right. Your least favorite crypto bad boy is this close to catching a 9th felony indictment. Or has he already caught it? Hey, it's America's Attorney here. And before we break down a brand new crime allegedly committed by Samuel Bankman-Fried, I want you to smash the subscribe button. Now, unlike so many other YouTube lawyers, it's 100% free to subscribe to this channel. There's no grift. I want you to know the rules of the game. Now, has there ever been something, anything positive that's ever been associated with tampering? If someone tampered with medication, would you take that medicine? No. If the results of a test or an election had been tampered with, you would suspect the outcome. And if a criminal defendant in an 8-count federal felony indictment is accused of tampering with a witness, well, that's just bad. And that's why I'm here introducing you to a man named Ryan Miller. Miller was a lawyer at Kirkland & Ellis, and he was the general counsel for FTX. This is a man who would have been privy to the most sensitive, strategic, legal, and illegal information at FTX. That sounds like the kind of information that a prosecutor might want to come out at trial. And actually also like the kind of information that a defendant might want to break the law to avoid having come out at trial. That brings us to January 15th, a day on which, according to prosecutors, SBF reached out to Miller with a message saying,
I would really love to reconnect and see if there's a way for us to have a constructive relationship, to use each other as resources when possible, or at least vet things with each other.
Let me put that in plain English. SBF is saying that they need to talk so that they can agree how to tell the same lie, so that they can agree how to tell the story in the same way. Why? It's clear that SBF thinks that Miller will be called by the prosecutors to testify against SBF. I mean, bet things with each other? That's literally SBF saying, run what you want to say by me, and I'll run what I want to say by you, which is collusion, which is a big no-no. Who says? Is that my opinion? No, the law says it. 18, United States Code 1512, subsection B defines tampering to include anyone who corruptly persuades another person or attempts to do so with intent to influence the testimony of any person in an official proceeding or to cause or induce any person to withhold testimony. The penalty for that crime, imprisonment for up to 20 years. Now that's an additional 20 years on top of the 115 years that SBF is already facing. According to the government, this happened on January 15th. So to put this in context, that's just 3 days after SBF's somewhat unhinged post on Substack. Busy weekend. I mean, his lawyers must be just climbing the walls. This is so dumb. I almost expect SBF to pull a Darrell Brooks, fire his lawyers, and represent himself based on how little he cares for the advice of his own lawyers. And it made me wonder, is SBF truly lawless? Does he just want to crime as much as possible? Or is he like actually dumb? Or is he a deeply, deeply flawed individual? Well, I have to think it's the third option. My working hypothesis is that he believes he is smarter than everyone else, and his belief is leading him to actually do actual things that no actual smart person would actually do. Actually. Maybe you have a friendlier interpretation of what SBF said to Miller, but let's run that message back.
I would really love to reconnect and to see if there's a way for us to have a constructive relationship. Use each other as resources when possible, or at least vet things with each other.
I mean, when you hear that, does it sound like he isn't trying to get someone to share in a lie with them? Well, I have some information which may change your mind. As far as evidence, in his defense, I want to say this. Prosecutors clearly don't believe that they have enough to convict him in terms of tampering at this point in time. But at the rate that SBF's going, maybe give him another week and they'll have more evidence. So instead of charging him with this 9th count, they simply asked the court to ban him from certain types of messaging platforms. Which leads me to the most damning fact of all, a fact that I think is absolutely going to convince you that this was an attempt to tamper with a witness. He sent this message to Miller on an encrypted platform. Tech bro, just stop it now. He was, as clear as day, trying to secretly collude with him regarding their future testimony. I mean, when was the last time you had a normal conversation on an encrypted platform? It's not the kind of place that you go and you text your wife, "Oh, honey, I'm picking up milk on the way home from work." SBF might as well put a neon sign pointing at his phone saying, "Super secret legal conversations happening here." Now, as of the shooting of this video, the judge has not yet ruled, but I can tell you with a very high degree of certainty that yes, he will be banned from encrypted messaging platforms from now until he's convicted. Oh, sorry, from now until his trial. I mean, will SBF even listen to the judge? Time will tell. Now here's a fun treat to make you think. Just to make sure that the judge had enough facts to side with the prosecutors and ban him from the platform, they disclosed some previously secret testimony from co-conspirator Caroline Ellison, in which she seemed to imply that SBF wanted evidence to go missing. Now, this is what I've been saying from the start, though. SBF is wasting his time. With Ellison and Wong in cahoots with the prosecution, he never stood a chance. But man, this guy wants to go out with a bang. You gotta love it. So, now it's time for your pro se opinion. Is there some fantasy world in which SBF wasn't trying to tamper with a witness? And what do you think his next move will be? Let me know down below in the comments. I want to say I am so glad that you stayed until this point in the video. Most of my viewers are not subscribers, and I want to turn that around. You like it here, and I love it when you're here. So lawyer up, hit the subscribe button, and as a reward, here's more SBF content here, and a little more SBF content here. And I will be back very soon with more videos. Bye.